Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Walking into the Light. This is Ryan Nolan. I greatly appreciate you joining this channel. If this is your first time here, I really want to welcome you. Thank you for joining. If you do like this video, you can hit the likes or subscribe button below. There's also a description box that I have a URL and website if you're interested in donating anything at all. Anything would be much appreciated. But let's go ahead and get right into it. You know, all the videos, if you haven't watch the videos from the past that I've done, it's mostly regarding the spiritual battle between good versus evil, between light versus dark. That's been going on for a long time. And more specifically, over the last few years, it's come to a real head. And the spiritual battle is coming to a point, it's going to be ending soon. And I just wanted people to be aware of this because there's going to be a lot of things coming to the surface. There's going to be a lot of light and a lot of truth that is going to expose the deceptions, the lies, the illusions, a lot of illusions that have been placed on the eyes and minds and hearts of all human beings all over the planet, across the planet. And that's because, as I've also stated in other videos, we are all connected as one consciousness. So what that means, if this is the first time you're on this video, or if this is the first time you've joined this channel, the one consciousness really represents and is synonymous with the one energy that connects everything within the universe. So everything is connected with this one consciousness. This one consciousness that we share, or one energy, is sitting in the infinite consciousness of God. So a better way of thinking about it is that we're all resting in the mind of God, and that this matrix is another way of saying it. This matrix, or this life that we're living, is simply there's multiple ways of describing it, but I like to call it almost like a dream, because it continues to shift, it continues to evolve, and it's also considered a dream in my estimation, because it's actually an illusion, because the only thing that's truly exists, that's real, is consciousness. And that's what lies within inside each and every single person. Each and every human soul has consciousness sitting within them, and that consciousness is projected outwardly, and every experience that you have at every present moment is simply a mirror effect of how you feel about yourself, or the consciousness that you have within inside of you, because how you feel about yourself is the consciousness that is being reflected back to you at every present moment. So I just wanted to get everyone kind of caught up to speed before I get into more detail about what I wanted to talk about in this video, excuse me, which is really around narcissism and the energy that is associated with it, because it's such a prevalent energy that's within the one self, or the one consciousness, the one energy that we all share right now. So as this universe continues to expand, there's all these energies within this one consciousness, or one self, and the one self is a representation of the universe, and the universe is consistent of multiple, an infinite number of energies, and it goes from low vibrational to high vibrational. And if you ask any scientist these days, they will tell you that everything vibrates. So everything that you see, all the objects that you see, whether it's a table, whether it's a counter, whatever it might be, everything vibrates, and it's not visible to the human eye. But the reason for that is because everything is made up of energy, and like I said, there's a spectrum from low vibrational to high vibrational energies that are associated within the universe. And the universe is simply a representation or projection of the one consciousness, or one self, that we all carry within inside of us as a human soul. So with that being said, the narcissistic energy that I'm bringing up is important because it's such a prevalent energy right now that's going to be eliminated from the planet. And it's an energy that I think a lot of people haven't really talked about enough, because it's one of those energies that I think it's easy to accept as something that's just normal. It's easy to accept that, it's something that people easily accept because they see it everywhere, rather than breaking it down for what it truly is and understanding that it's something that doesn't need to be there. More importantly, it's something that God does not intend to have existing in this universe, and that it's not real, and that it's artificial, and that, like I said, it's going to be eliminated very soon. But I wanted to bring it to people's attention because it's something that's very prevalent right now, and we have to be aware of this energy and how it was created, and how to get rid of it. So the narcissistic energy that I'm talking about is really created by narcissists. And I know we've heard of the word before. Everyone's probably heard of the word narcissist. And everyone's met a narcissist in their life at some point, most likely. And there's probably a chance that you met a narcissist and didn't really think about it and really think about it in that way. But if you look back, you will remember a time in which you felt there was a narcissist in your life that was trying to take control of your life in some way or some capacity. The narcissistic energy that I'm speaking of is important because, like I said, it's going to be eliminated, but it's so prevalent right now, and it's created in a very nefarious way, a very evil and wicked way. And the ways that it's created is through darkness. And me sharing this video right now is bringing light to the situation and shattering that darkness so that people can see things for what it really is. Now, this energy is created by through darkness, and it's created through beings that do not contain a soul. So there are demons that are outside of the collective soul that we all share, or the one consciousness that we share within ourselves. There are soulless beings outside of that want to take control of our soul. And that is, the devil and Satan and his army has been on this planet for a long time, trying to hijack our soul and invert us into believing the things that aren't true to be true and the things that aren't true to be true. So it was a way, so in order to do that, he's got to make sure that the consciousness level of humanity as a whole is decreased and subdued. And the way that you do that is to target certain individuals that have a high consciousness level and surrounding them by people that have a low consciousness. And then taking it a step further and making sure that these low consciousness beings, or a lot of them are basically people that are possessed by demons. They're no longer human beings. They're actually demons that are hijacking these bodies. And these bodies that have been hijacked then surround the individual that's considered a divine being or a highly conscious individual. These highly conscious individuals were considered that way from a very early age. As soon as they were born, it was detected through their DNA, for the most part, in a lot of these cases, that these people had a high consciousness level, and that meant that they could make a huge impact in the world. So the devil and his army of darkness have targeted these individuals and made sure that they're surrounded within their family, within their friend group, with people that are low vibrational, and a lot of them are hijacked by these demons. And then behind the scenes, these divine beings are hit with dark magic, black magic, spell work, witchcraft, voodoo, all types of dark magic and dark arts that are done behind the scenes. And what this means is that this individual is being targeted and being hit with all of these illusions, being hit with all of this spell work. And the purpose of this is to drive them into homelessness, to drive them into poverty, to drive them into losing their job, drive them into broken relationships, drive them into a state of being in which they have no self-worth for themselves. And when that happens, their consciousness level then decreases, and they're not able to make the impact in the world that they were destined by God to have. And this has been happening in the dark because these beings are being targeted, these divine beings with high consciousness levels that have been that way since they were born, are being targeted in the dark, behind the scenes, and they don't know that it's happening. And all they know is that they're just slowly living a life that kind of deters away from the path that they thought that they were going to be on. And it slowly happens, and because a lot of these people are empathetic, they tend to blame themselves for the situations they find themselves in. And they then will reinforce those negative experiences in their life because of that self-judgment that they place upon themselves. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that they become stuck in. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've gone through this myself, and I've had family and friends that are all narcissists, every single one of them. And they were orchestrated by the devil and put in certain positions to ensure that I was never able to see the true value that I had within inside of me. And it was only through my prayer, through my dedication to God, and through God's mercy and grace that I was able to get through that. But it was also through that I'm here right now to talk about this, to bring this to light, because other people are experiencing this as well. And it's important for people to know that narcissism is something that is thriving in the dark. It used to thrive in the dark, and it used to be something that was done all the time. But like I said, it's going to be stopping because God is here and putting a stop to it. But I think it's important for us to know that there are narcissists out there that are still attacking these divine beings or people that are high in consciousness level to ensure that they're not able to see the true value that they hold within themselves. and that it's being done behind closed doors so that people that are being targeted don't know that this is happening. There's a lot of people that are homeless right now, that are in poverty, that are sick, that simply have no idea that they were on this target list and that they were a recipient of this. And they find themselves blaming themselves. And I'm here to bring this to the light so that they can see the truth, so that they can open their eyes to see how, powerful they really are. And the only way to really combat this narcissism, and the real way to combat it, is through truth. And I say that because it comes with firsthand experience in my own life, where the narcissists that were attacking me behind the scenes, that I weren't aware of, that were doing this, only came to light through my relationship with God. But once I realized what was happening through my intuition and other forms of divine abilities that God has given me, I then used that to my benefit by presenting the truth to the world. And that truth, and stating your truth, and stating the fact that that these narcissists are doing this behind the scenes, eliminates that energy that they create for themselves, that feeling, that sense of power that they get from these narcissists. Gain an illusory, it's not real. They think it's real. They think that they're gaining real power by making sure that other people don't increase their performance in life. They feel as these narcissists gain their energy, they gain their illusion of power by bringing other people down through doing this dark magic. It gives them a sense of power over these people because they know that these divine beings have a greater destiny than they were destined to have. And to see them struggle and to see them go through quote unquote failures in their mind gives them that sense of power, and it reinforces the state of being in which they feel entitled to be able to step over the boundary line and go into that other person's life whenever they feel like it's necessary in order to ensure that person's down, because there's a sense of entitlement that comes within these beings of narcissists. These people that begin to feel self-entitled, they feel powered, they feel empowered to do whatever they feel like is necessary to keep these people down, and they will do anything. They will go into people's health records behind the scenes. They will steal inheritances. They will steal money. They will go into these people's bank accounts and steal money. They will forge documents to steal inheritances. They will send death rituals to these people. They will send spell work to get these people sick. They will call these divine beings employment managers and try to get them fired. They will call up people that are in romantic relationships with these individuals and try to set up situations to where that person looks bad in front of their romantic partner. So everything is designed in the mind of the narcissist to sabotage this person's life. And they get a sense of joy out of that in doing this. So their joy comes from bringing people down. And that is the inverse of truth, right? Real truth is being empowered by faith and understanding that you're everything that there is. This is the inverse of that, and believing that you're separate from everything, and therefore it's your duty to ensure that no one gets above you. So it's the exact opposite of truth. And that's why when you state the truth, it completely shatters a narcissist's energy. And like I said, I've had firsthand experience of this. And when I brought the truth to the light, and I brought the truth to the light being that my inheritance was stolen, that I had money taken from me, that I had death rituals placed on my life, that I had my health records tampered with, that I had medications tampered with, that I had forged documents that were created in my, with a fake signature. All of these things, my inheritance, like I said, was stolen from me. All of these things that I brought to the light were then able to shatter the energy of empowerment, that illusion of power. I don't even know how to say that word, but that illusion of power that comes with a narcissistic energy then is shattered with that truth, because the person now knows what's going on. And these narcissists who really, really get a joy out of bringing someone down and then going behind the scenes with all of the other people that are narcissists and grouping together and laughing about the life of the person that they're targeting and laughing behind their back and giggling and making it seem like it's a big joke what they're doing to this person's life. That can no longer be done if that person that's being targeted brings to the light what he or she knows is happening. They no longer are able to go behind the scenes and laugh about it. So, and that's why that energy is shattered when we bring truth to the table. And I'm urging everyone here today, if you feel like there's narcissists in your in your life that are doing things to you that are being done behind the scenes, but you feel like or maybe you have evidence, bring that evidence to the forefront. Let them know you know what's happening, and you will see their energy levels decrease. Their sense of power over you will decrease. Their sense of entitlement to be able to step over the boundary line into your life and be able to do whatever they want decreases. So the overall energy of that narcissist then is completely shattered. And so that's why it's important, if you are on the other end of this video and you know that there's a narcissist messing with you, you have to bring the truth of the matter and let them know you know exactly what's happening. Now, the last thing that I wanted to mention is this narcissistic energy is synonymous with devil energy, and the devil's energy is very narcissistic. The devil is very narcissistic. That's how he that's his natural state. And that's why God coming to the world right now and showing us that he's going to save us from the darkness that's been plaguing this world for so long. That truth is going to completely shatter the devil. And all of the lies and all of the illusions that have been placed upon mankind as a whole. What I've been talking about so far has been individual people being targeted by narcissists. I'm also now going to talk about the fact that mankind as a collective has been targeted by the devil in ways in which we were fed lies and deceptions and believed these deceptions, and it made us divide amongst each other. And while we were doing this behind the scenes, these narcissists and these soulless beings that are part of Satan's army, we're all laughing behind the scenes and talking about how stupid human beings are, because they're very envious of the fact that we have souls and that we have a connection with God. That's where all this stems from, is the envy, the jealousy, and the hatred of human beings that these soulless beings have towards human beings because of the fact that we have a connection with God and they don't. And in order to make themselves feel better, they wanted to make us feel less than we are. And the way to do that is to make us divide amongst each other and fight amongst each other while they sit back and laugh, and people struggle and live a life of pain. And they're in the background laughing about everything. And while that's happening, they're also still trying to hijack our consciousness and overtake it as a whole. So that was the whole attempt, of the army of darkness. But like I said, God is here and God is saving us. And that, one last thing that I wanted to mention was that there's just so much here, is that there's the lies that have been placed on the minds and hearts of human beings, on mankind, by these soulless beings for thousands of years, include things like racism, includes things like classism, anything that you feel, any divisions that are created in mankind. And a lot of that stems from racism. I think racism might be the most obvious issue that we have had issues with as a human collective, that has divided us amongst each other. That one specific issue was created specifically with that narcissistic energy. Think about it. There were people that were soulless, that envied the fact that we have a connection with God. We're envious of the fact that we have a soul, that hated us for that. And the best way they could feel about themselves is to bring our value down by making us less understanding of the other people in the human collective, by making it seem as though we have to be pitted against other people that are different in race. When in actuality, we're all one consciousness, and there's no reason to look at anyone else outside of yourself. And these soulless beings knew that if they were able to create the division between race, that we would always be fighting amongst each other. And then they could sit back and laugh at us, knowing that they are the real racists. They're the ones that are racist towards African Americans. And they've been placing that into the minds of human beings and making us believe we're the ones that are racist. And it's them projecting that onto us, and then us taking that burden on, unfortunately, and having to deal with that and having to go through that struggle, which has caused so much pain unnecessarily in the lives of so many people. And it's just important for us to know that this racism wasn't created within the human collective. It was created by these soulless beings that are being completely destroyed right now by God. So I wanted people to know that the narcissistic energy not only targets individuals, but it targets the collective soul of humankind as well. And one of the most obvious examples of that is the racism that we've had for so long that was unnecessary because it was being put upon us by people by soulless beings that don't even have a soul. And it's important for us to know that and to understand that, we are all one consciousness, and there's nothing outside of yourself. Everyone is a different version of you. And it doesn't matter what the race or the color of someone's skin is. I think we all know that deep down inside of us. Yet we still find ourselves in situations where racist things seem to happen. And I think that's where the frustration came from, was because if you talk to everybody, most people on this planet, they would agree that the race and the color of someone's skin doesn't really matter in how you should treat somebody. Yet here we are going through all these issues. That's a red flag to me, and I think it should be a red flag for a lot of people that something didn't make sense. And it's because the people that were creating the issue were outside of our human collective soul, trying to make it seem like it was our fault, and then having us deal with the problem. And that's, like I said, that's been going on for a long time when it comes to racism. But there's other issues too, other issues too, that they create division within the human collective soul, and then we have to become responsible for their actions and their projection. And unfortunately, a lot of times we fall for that rather than seeing it for what it really is, which is just a tactic by the enemy of our soul. So now that we understand that narcissists are basically, getting joy out of bringing other people down, and the best way to combat that is through truth. I hope you can understand that, and this makes an impact in your life, and that you treat people with respect, because we're all one consciousness and one energy. And if we live in that truth, it will shatter the narcissist. Hopefully that helps you, and I hope you have a great day, and take care. God bless. Love you guys.